Hello, I am Lincoln. Side quests are a huge part of what makes Zelda Zelda, but some of them are just the worst. So today we're going to be ranking the top 5 worst side quests in all of Legend of Zelda. Let's do it. Before Breath of the Wild, getting extra weapons in Zelda games has always been a really cool concept, especially with swords. In Ocarina of Time, you can get a third sword called the Bigoron Sword. However, the quest to get it is just horrible. You gotta go on this long trading quest. You get like these eye drops to give to the Bigoron, and you have to travel across Hyrule in like 2 minutes. And if you fail, you gotta start the quest over. And it just gets so annoying that you just decide that you want to use the Megaton Hammer to defeat Ganon instead. And sure, the reward is cool, but to say it's worth it is just straight up a lie. When I first played Majora's Mask, I made it to the Snowhead Temple. In that temple, there's this one part where you're supposed to raise the platform all the way up, and then punch out these blue layers of the platform to get the platform to the right size that you need it to be. I didn't realize that you could do that, and so I'd jump, trying to land on the ledge the platform's supposed to lead you to, over and over again until I'd get it, and every single time I do that, I have to climb all the way back up. Now, of course, that's not the intended way of doing it. And even at the time, I kind of guessed that wasn't the intended way of doing it, because Nintendo wouldn't just make you have to do a jump that you're gonna miss 90% of the time, and then have to spend forever getting back up to jump again. Would they? Well, enter Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, where this old caretaker needs to get a baby rattle for their baby. For whatever reason, it's in a giant loft wing nest on top of a tower. So you have to climb up to the top of Skyloft and dive down from there all the way to the nest to try to get the baby rattle. This is easily the worst side quest in the Zelda game that is notorious for having not good side quests. Because the diving physics in Skyward Sword are infinitely worse than the falling physics in Majora's Mask. This is like really aggravating to get. Do you want the best armor in any Zelda game ever? Well, here's the quest to get it. Go to the Mallow Mart in Twilight Princess, specifically the Kakariko Village one. In order to get the Hyrule Castle Town one, you need to spend 3,000 rupees to get the Castle Town one. Then, once you go to the Castle Town one, you can buy the best armor in any Zelda game, the Magic Armor, for 598 rupees. That means you need 3,598 rupees to get this armor. Now, keep in mind, assuming you're not playing the Wii U version like a freak, this is going to cost you either 12 grinding trips if you have the minimum size wallet, or simply just 3.5 if you have the maximum sized one. So, in a similar way to how no one ever beats Pirate's Fortress and Majora's Mask without collecting 4 bottles beforehand, I feel like it would also be reasonable to upgrade your wallet all the way beforehand. How do you do that? It's simple. Go to Castletown and enter the place known as Agatha's Castle. And there you'll find a freaky little girl who is obsessed with bugs. And she wants you to give her 24 golden bugs. If you're not willing to do that, you can simply just give her 1 bug and you'll get a 600 rupee wallet, which can get the job done in 6 trips, but we're looking for optimal ways of doing this. So we've got to collect 24 golden bugs for Agatha, and 3,598 rupees after that. So, it seems like we're gonna need a bit of a grinding session. If you want the best armor in the Legend of Zelda, you'll need over 3,000 rupees. And if you need that much, it will make things easier if you give 24 golden bugs to a freak who is obsessed with bugs. Well, we've done it. We've gotten all 24 golden bugs, got the largest wallet. Now we've just finished our 4th trip, and we're on our way to Malmart in the castle town to go see what our great reward is. And it's the magic armor. If you put it on, it will make you slow and weak. Well, why is it doing that, you might ask? Well, because you need rupees to power it. You see, this armor transforms your heart meter into your rupee meter, so that now, rather than wasting your hearts, you're spending your rupees on it. And now, instead of being able to walk at a consistently high speed, now you're entirely reliant on having enough rupees to walk at a functional speed. If you ever happen to start walking, then you will immediately start draining rupees. And if you lose rupees, you will become weaker and become as slow as the iron boots. I hope you enjoyed that grinding session, because if you bought this armor and you want to make your purchase worth it, then you're going to be doing nothing but grinding for the rest of your playthrough. Congratulations! If you knew that the side quest existed, you knew that the side quest would be on the list. The figurines from Minish Cap. Okay, so there's this house. If you were to go up to the house, you'd see that it is locked. We can go in the other way. And while you can't go that far into the house, you can see that on the other side of the house there is a heart piece. You want that heart piece, of course. So you have to go talk to this one guy that only appears later on to the game, discuss with him about it, and he will say that you can get in if you get all the figurines. What are the figurines? Well, it's simple. Gambling. Gambling, gambling, gambling. What you need to do is you need to go to this gambling place and you gamble for figurines. You can change the odds of you receiving a figurine by inserting shells, so basically rigging gambling. But still, that doesn't change anything. You have to gamble for all of these different figurines. Only then can you go in there, and your reward is a single heart piece. And you might be thinking, oh well, it's just like the My-Mi's or something like that. No, this is worse, because you can still get duplicates, so you still need to keep on doing that. And even then, eventually, you'll run out of shells and run out of the ability to change the odds to get what you want. And inevitably, you will just be running on luck by the ending. This side quest is quite literally next to impossible. But unlike number 1, it's not something people turn their heads at upon seeing its existence. While it might not be a surprise to anyone, it deserves as much hatred as it receives. Of course, the Koroks, from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Puzzles scattered across Hyrule in this open world game where you gotta use your abilities to complete these puzzles. Except for the puzzles are pick up a rock, or pick up a rock and put it in a different location, or backtrack in the opposite direction you were already traveling, or shoot these little balloons that show up everywhere, or follow these flowers as they poof around. And they get so repetitive. And there is so many of them. Like the figurines, the My-Mi's, none of these other collection quests are quite nearly as bad as this one. There are so many of them, especially between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and Tears of the Kingdom directly duplicates some of them. Completionists turned their head in this game and said they don't want to do it. My father was playing this game, and he said that he didn't want to beat the game until he'd 100%ed it. He started going through all the Koroks. He was using this app called Breath Companion that was guiding him through completing it, by telling him where every single Korok was and marking off all the Koroks they'd already done. And he accidentally marked off one of the ones that he had already done. So now, he is the last person in the world who hasn't beaten Breath of the Wild by 2025. Because, of course, there's no way of finding that one individual Korok in the field of hundreds of Koroks that are all already done. He's gonna have to re-pick up every single rock that he already picked up. And the reward is quite literally nothing. The rewards you get along the way, while helpful, get like 30 Koroks and you'll never need to do anything again, because you don't need that much item storage. And I don't think I need too much reason to say that this is the worst side quest in any Zelda game ever. Now, I do completely understand Nintendo for putting this side quest in the game, because the previous actual Zelda game that they did before that, A Link Between Worlds, had the Mai-Mais. The Mai-Mais were these little pink guys that you can find 100 of them across the map, and for every 10 or so of them you collect, you will receive a nice item. That's quite literally what they're called. It would be like nice sword, or nice hammer, or nice bow, or nice bombs. And they are actual upgrades rather than just you can hold more things and you eventually reach an unnecessary amount of storage space. No, it's simply just making things better with a relatively small number of collectibles in a relatively small world where that is a very convenient thing to have. Breath of the Wild is literally the opposite of A Link Between Worlds in every single way possible. And to think that after all the hatred it got out of 6 years of existing for Tears of the Kingdom to release, and have the Korok still there, but now with a few new types and the ability to torture them. Well, I do prefer the ability to torture them, but why do you need to keep the side quest? You know? It's messed up. Well, that's the list. So, some of them were obvious, some of them weren't. Some of them you probably never heard before. Let me know if that's the case. See you next time. Killer. I was completely capable of hating, feeling critical about things. Need to go check on that.